Yes, sir. Okay. Sorry, I was just talking to my girlfriend that I don't have. For fuck's sake. The love and hate relationship that is the adaptation of Classroom with the Elite. Light novel readers complaining about changes that the anime had, while anime onlys are just enjoying the show and complaining about the animation, which is reasonable. Now you might ask, Shinji, why you, a Sakugotard, wasting your time on a show that doesn't have anything special or a visual aesthetic that differs from other animes? I don't know, I just want to talk about it. I'm making this video because A, I want to make something about Classroom Elite, and also I see a lot of brain rot takes on animation in the Classroom of the Elite community. So yeah, animation. No one? But this is not a comparison to the light novel thing. I am an anime only. I do spoil myself sometimes. I know future events that will occur. And a girl that I wish could step on. What is animation? Is it when you see a fight scene and you yell, "Oh my god, animation!" Or you see Ichinose getting her back up and you go, "Oh, animation." Well, the definition on Google is basically making drawings move. I mean, if that is animation, then your shows will look like this. You gotta factor in a lot more stuff like backgrounds, coloring, compositing, and a lot more. Of course, there's the visual department like the voice acting and sound design. The main thought that people say that it's not an action show, you don't need good animation. Yeah, because there isn't any non-action anime that has great animation. You get my point. I'm not saying that Classroom Elite needs like Chainsaw Man realistic character acting or Bochi levels of character acting. That's just not possible if you don't have talent on board. The thing that you need in the show is just good direction and also storyboarding work and pacing. The only time for me when the pacing felt rushed as an anime only was season 2 episode 5, which was the festival thing, and maybe a bit of season 3 episode 2. Code's direction is nothing special, but sometimes it can have episodes having a step up in the direction, like with Kushida's backstory and the recent Ichinose backstory. That's the only episode that the direction was memorable to me. But first, let's talk about Studio Lerche. They're not really a studio that is known by a lot of people, but if you watch a lot of anime, you've probably seen some of their shows. My top 3 favorite anime of all time, Assassination Classroom, and other popular ones like Danganronpa, Monster Musume. Nice. And Scum's Wish. There's also like hidden gems like Gakugurashi, Kanata no Astra, and Idly Pride. This one probably doesn't apply to most, but I just like idol shows. Their shows are not really something to write home about animation wise. Maybe you get some cool fights here and there. I do think season 1 is still the best looking season. It was definitely the most consistent one. I don't know if they had any outsourcing. Season 1 also was not perfect. It had inconsistent drawings. I don't know if editing me can find some. And the compositing can be at times. Even the first episode, so that's like a meh compositing. But also season 1 looked different than season 2 and 3 because the 2 directors from season 1 is now the chief director. Yoshihito Nishoji being the series director for season 2 and 3. Also the composite and overall color is different. Season 1 had a more vibrant color palette. You can see in Horikita's face, it has like a pinkish gradient to it. And just the overall season. While in season 2 and 3, it's toned down a bit but gives it that pop at times. Their character designs also is different. I like the design more in season 2 onwards. But of course it's off model most of the time. Season 2 definitely had it worse. For now, we'll see. Episode 2 and 5 was laughably bad. Not 7 Deadly Sins bad because that shit was its own beast, but it kind of paid off because the climactic episodes looked good. Not perfect, there's still errors, but great. Episode 6 with the running scene, and of course episode 12 with the fight, which was rotoscoped. So that was cool. Season 3 episode 1, 2, and 5 looked good. Also, don't call just good shading work movie quality. What I'm trying to say is, this is not movie quality. This is movie quality. Adapting a light novel is hard. Most trashy fantasy isekai light novel adaptations just get one season with the most shitty cliffhanger. Like, oh my god, something's gonna happen. Don't worry babe, I got this. What the fuck? Because just to promote the source material. Of course, on some occasions, they'll get a season 2. How the fuck did this get a season 2? The hard part about light novels is that it's all words, maybe some illustrations here and there. You can't go on a backup plan like manga to just copy and paste the manga panels and then color it. Like with the second half of Blue Lock, because the team didn't have any time to do much creative stuff or something different for the anime. It was still good because Blue Lock manga good. Trying to nitpick stuff from the light novel to cram in as much content as possible for an episode is pretty hard. If you're saying that season 2 or 3 should have been 24 episodes while it's clearly obviously struggling with an average looking 12 episode season, then you're brain dead. The schedule is bad. Bro, in season 2, even in the Lerche episodes, they couldn't draw Koenji on model like every single time. he's on screen. They couldn't draw him as the character design sheet looked. This is kind of a good example of why the schedule is bad. This trailer, it was to hype up season 2 and season 3, but it was pre-animated. Basically, pre-animated is a trailer mostly that acts like its own project. Chainsaw Man and Mushoku Tensei did it, but granted, the show looked as good as the pre-animated trailer. Unlike, I don't know, Hosoki Michi, the trailer looks good, but the anime is average looking. Anyway, COTE pre-animated this trailer. Well, it's to hype up season 2 and 3, but they didn't show anything from the anime itself because they haven't finished season 2 or even worked on season 3. If the studio/staff team had time to not rush the show, they probably would have done the light novel justice. It was just a deadline that the production committee set to finish year 1 is a bit unreasonable. Most of the blame is Karakawa, yes, but you can criticize the director that probably changed how ayanokoji act in the manga from the light novel. You can say this director choice wasn't to my taste, but don't tweet them death threats or something because that's just retarded. The series has the most influence when it... What the fuck did I wrote? The series Oh, the series director has the most influence when it comes to how the anime will look. Everyone has to go to him for corrections or opinions. Okay, let's take 2 really good light novel adaptations recently. Shield Hero Season 3 and Goblin Slayer Season 2. Okay, I'm just kidding. 86 and Eminence in the Shadow. Both shows basically got saved by the series director and also the other staff behind it, but the series director was the main saving grace. Toshimasa Ishii giving the groundwork, directing and storyboarding the first episode of 86, giving the visual identity of masterful visual storytelling, using the medium to its fullest, influencing the other episode directors/storyboarders with his philosophy whilst also directed the best episode of the series, or even the year at that time. Learning from Ishii's characteristics as a director, other people brought those ideas to other shows, like with Oshinoko Episode 7 by Kuniyashu Nishina, who has worked on some episodes in 86, using abrupt transitions, great storytelling through audio visuals, and similar shot composition. While on the other hand, Eminence in the Shadow series director Kazuya Nakanishi capturing the comedy of the show but was such a workhorse, storyboarding almost all of season 1 and all of season 2 whilst doing the OP and ED2, while also being the action director, while also animating a lot, while also solo key animating an episode. I mean, what the fuck? It's crazy how a single person can do this much work. By the way, storyboarding is basically the rough draft of how the anime episode will be structured. Storyboarding an episode can take time. Take March Comes In Like a Lion. The average time to storyboard an episode took 3 months, which is double than average show, because being a shaft show, it's more lenient on the masterful storyboarding and directorial work. Even the Levi vs Beast Titan took Arfumi and Mai a month just to storyboard it. Anime takes time, and that's what Classroom Elite was lacking. Not budget. You can't just go on Twitter saying, "Oh, I feel bad, method animators getting underpaid and overworked, but I'm still gonna use the word budget." One Punch Man's character designer, Chikashi Kubota, said himself that most anime has the same budget. Of course, people don't want to work for free, so budget matters to a certain extent. People said season 3 got delayed so that Lerche can polish the episodes more. No, it's probably because they couldn't finish 13 episodes on time. Outsourcing episodes does cost more money because you're using outside help. Outsourcing is not always a bad product. It all comes down with good planning where the team knows that early on in the production that they couldn't do all the episodes on time or it's a last minute resort. Hell, one of the best looking episodes in Attack on Titan final season was outsourced to Saigame Pictures. It looked really good because it was an early decision. Same with some Freeman episodes, the staff knew that they couldn't work on 28 episodes, so they outsourced some episodes to reliable studios and close friends with the series director. But a bad example of outsourcing is The Angel Next Door, which had, from what I remember, 10 out of 12 of their episodes outsourced. While the show was still good for me, it definitely lacked a sense of creativity or just felt nothing special visually. That's why they barely do any complex shots like this one. This looks bad. The head is way too big. If you've tried drawing before, you know the hardest thing to learn is anatomy and perspectives. Take a shot like this in Hyoka. The camera is stood still and the characters are far and coming forward. The animator has to visualize how Chitanda will look far away and close up, and he has to do that every frame. Not every frame, but because you have in-betweeners. It's an anime. If it's real life, you can just put a camera there, then say to the actor, just walk in front of the camera. It's easy. Of course, in anime, you can use reference or a 3D model like what Ufotable do, or you can be like Mon where your animation looks rotoscope, but it's not rotoscope, which is crazy. Also, people were saying there was a character that was teased for year 2, and that confirms there will be a season 4, which is not true. Either Lerche wants to continue adapting COTE or move on, then the production committee needs to find another studio. Or the production committee won't just fund the project and move on. Like with Noragami. Why isn't there a Noragami season 3? Because the committee stopped funding Bones to make another season, then Bones just move on with My Hero. Again, time and talent are the most important thing to make your shows as good looking as possible. Of course, they had more time, the show wouldn't look as good as like a Cloverworks show, but it definitely would have looked more consistent and better. There's probably a lot more stuff I can talk about, but these are the most frequent stuff that pop out between COTE fans. And yeah, if you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what are your thoughts about the COTE adaptation or something. But yeah, I'm going to take a shit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.